Hey, we're getting there. Another one of the things that we do as camp, which is really a neat time, and that is cabin times. And the key stuff here is, that this is a time to really get to know your kids, and it can be really a really cool time. Okay, and it's also a time where you get to sort of help them along their spiritual journey. Now, each day you're going to be given a set of questions that relate to the speaker's message, and you can go through these with your kids. And the key here is they'll really get them to sort of think and discuss the answers. This is also a time when they'll possibly ask questions about God, and these can be quite tricky, but try your best to answer them. But if you don't know the answer, just simply tell them that you don't know the answer, and that you will find out and get back to them, the next day. So don't make it out as though you do know when you don't. That's key. The other thing that happens in cabin times is that you'll get a bit of time to actually run a few games and things like that with the kids as well. So it's worth sort of thinking about some of the stuff that you can do in a cabin to make it a fun time. Best way to really run the cabin time is to get the kids to sit in one area. So maybe your team is spread out through a number of different rooms. Bring them all into one of the bedrooms, and then go through the questions. If the kids don't answer straight away, give them a little bit of time. So encourage them. Try to encourage them to do that. You can answer it yourself, or maybe directly, direct the question to one of the kids. That often works quite well. A nice idea is to finish the cabin time with a prayer and just pray for the kids. Ask if they have any prayer requests, and if your discussion time isn't long enough, then do a game with the kids. And what we'll do is we'll try and provide the list of games and things that you can do with your kids' time. Another one of the times is the meal times. Meal times are arguably one of the best times of the day. We have so much fun, but it can also be the hardest and the most frustrating. And that's where the leaders, you as leaders, can really help at meal times to keep your kids under control. And this means that when someone is trying to speak up the front, make sure your kids are listening. Quiet them down and get them to sort of listen. And also when your group is lit up for food, it's your turn to have the food. Make sure they line up, sensibly. And like no food fights, or really silly behaviour. That's really important at the mealtime. Have fun, but just not silly or stupid. Also, make sure that your kids are at the mealtime, and don't let them go before everything's over and they've been dismissed. A thing to keep in mind is that mealtimes are not optional. Some kids are going to struggle with eating, and so it's really important that you make sure that they do get something to eat. Otherwise, what happens is they conk out in the middle of the day or the next day, or their behaviour is really bad. So mealtimes is really important. Other area, just general housekeeping, keeping here, I should say. Cabin cleanliness. Each day there's going to be cabin inspections. Just make sure that your cabin is clean and tidy, and we're going to be giving out points and prizes and things like that for cabins. So encourage the kids to clean up their cabins and leave them tidy, each morning. And apart from the whole competition things, it's really important in terms of hygiene that the cabins are kept clean and tidy as possible as that is with kids. And things like wet and dirty clothes shouldn't be packed away in bags or left on the floor. Get these up, hung up over the heater or outside to dry. Because the kids will if they get a lot of clothes wet, then they're not going to have anything to wear the next day, and we don't want them wearing wet clothes. Only kids who are in that cabin should be allowed in that cabin. Don't get kids going to and fro cabins. Otherwise, what happens is that things get stolen and all that sort of stuff. So if friends want to catch up, encourage them to do that in the public areas, in the lounges, or in the rec room or in the cafe sort of area. Food, just try to keep food out of the cabins as much as possible. Definitely keep drinks out of there, and like hot or messy foods, just not in the cabins. You can have packaged food, but just make sure the kids keep it sort of tidy. Hygiene, with all the activities and basic day sort of sweat and dirt, you're going to want the kids to have a shower, and we sort of say that if they have a shower every 2 days, it's probably okay, unless obviously they fall into a mud, pond or something like that. But if they're generally, they're clean and tidy, then you can let them get away with once every 2 days. And showers will be held in the morning before breakfast, not at night. Okay, so that's the rules there. And no showers at night by either the kids or you leaders, is because it basically keeps the kids up and we can't get them to sleep. So yeah, just that's that stuff there.